The Avengers are no more. It's the aftermath of Avengers Disassembled, the worst day in Avengers history. There is no Avengers Mansion, and Vision, Hawkeye and Ant-Man are dead. The surviving members have disbanded. Without Earth's mightiest team of heroes, there's an opportunity for supervillains to take advantage of, and this is the story of such an attempt. A secret meeting is taking place. A shadowy figure places a deal on the table to another. Despite being slightly hesitant on the plan, the balding figure agrees to create a distraction. For what though? But he reveals his identity as Electro, one of Spider-Man's arch-villains. But what has he agreed to do? A helicopter lands at Rikers Island, the maximum security prison housing some of the worst supervillains. Off step Matt Murdock and Luke Cage, met by Jessica Drew, aka Spider-Woman, an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., who greets them warmly. Petrified Foggy Nelson has to be persuaded by Daredevil to step out of the helicopter. Escorted by Drew, they walk through the complex to meet a yet unnamed inhabitant. Deeper into the ground they travel, until suddenly, blackness. The heroes are plunged into darkness, the generators are powered down. A huge blast of lightning hits the facility, and a blackout spreads to the rest of the city. Spider-Man races desperately across the city to the scene of the blast, hitching a ride on a helicopter. Before reaching the island, the helicopter is hit by lightning, forcing its pilot and passengers to jump out as it explodes, plunging Spider-Man into the icy water below. A bedraggled Spider-Man crawls onto the island to be met by Captain America and a team of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. Inside the complex, Electro wreaks havoc and releases all of the locks, freeing every villain inside. In the depths of Rikers Island, Murdock, Cage, Drew and Nelson stumble on, looking for him. Then they find him, Robert Reynolds, the Sentry. His mission complete, Electro blasts out of prison and flees. Spidey sense going haywire, Spider-Man and Captain America are confronted by the villains. Energy blasts quickly leave Spider-Man vulnerable and he's swamped by enemies who remove his mask. In the ensuing brawl, Spider-Man's arm is broken with a sickening crack. Meanwhile, Murdock is struggling to get any response out of the depressed looking Sentry. Foggy Nelson gets increasingly agitated and his fears quickly become realised as a monster looms behind him. Cletus Cassidy, aka Carnage, quickly attacks the team who struggle to contain him. Spider-Woman's blasts do little to Carnage and he rips through a guard with ease. In the chaos, Mr. Hyde steps out the shadows and takes Daredevil by surprise, pummeling him in the face. Outside, Spider-Man is overwhelmed with the likes of Fool Killer and Crusader eager to get revenge. Things look grim for the wall crawler. Out of nowhere, a disc of red, white and blue hurtles through the air, scattering the attackers. Captain America leads a charge to rescue Spider-Man, aided by agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. In the darkness, Foggy Nelson pleads for support to help his friends. His friends continue their fights, with Daredevil keeping Mr. Hyde at bay, while Spider-Woman and Luke Cage battle Carnage. Foggy's pleas are not left unanswered though. Sentry steps forward and is immediately set upon by Carnage. Grabbing Carnage, Sentry blasts through each floor of the prison, past the battling Captain America and Spider-Man, higher and higher, past the clouds until they reach space. In the cold, dark stillness of space, Sentry calmly rips Carnage in half. Back in the depths of Rikers Island, the three remaining heroes quickly deal with Mr. Hyde, only to be met by another villain immediately, as Hydra Man creates a deluge to flood the floor and try to drown them. Spider-Woman grabs Foggy and flies him out of there, returning to join the fight with Daredevil and Luke Cage on the island's surface. Despite their heroics, things are looking desperate as the sheer number of villains is overwhelming the heroes. Luckily, support has arrived as Iron Man flies onto the scene to lend a hand. As the tide starts to turn, Cap has to step in to stop Cage beating Purple Man to death. Slowly, surely, against impossible odds, the heroes are starting to win. The return of Sentry seals that victory. All of these heroes didn't question why they were there, they just knew they had to be there, they knew what was right. And that was enough for Captain America to decide to reform the Avengers, offering those heroes a place on the team. The New Avengers. Thank you if you made it this far, hope you've enjoyed it. If you want to read this story, it's issues 1 to 3 of Bendis' 2005 New Avengers series with illustrations by David Finch. Obviously I've left out bits of the story to make it a bit more concise, but I really hope you've enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.